Hi everyone, thanks for watching. In today's video, I'm going to do a full face of my everyday makeup look that I like to do, but I'm going to use all of my products in my collection that are the most expensive. And today, I'll see if I can tip this down so you can see. Oh, maybe not. I have my two dogs on my lap. This is Luca. And this is Albie. Albie's been on in other videos, but so they are both on my lap and they don't seem to want to go anywhere else, so that's not going to make this easy. Okay, so I always use primer, and one of my favorites, now this is the Bobbi Brown face base. This is a little mini. I did have the large size. I used that up a couple months ago, so I'm working my way through this mini one, and then I'll probably repurchase the big one. It's an expensive primer, but it's really nice, especially if you have dry skin. So I take about that much. It goes on just like a really thick moisturizer and just hydrates, and I feel like it plumps and smooths. And I put that everywhere. It has a lemony citrus smell. Let me just tuck my hair. It is actually kind of a strong scent, but it dissipates pretty quick. It's a really nice primer, but I feel like, as I said in my affordable one, this Good Molecules primer is very similar. Not quite as thick and not maybe as hydrating, but very similar. And then I'm gonna go in with a pore filling, and I have the Tatcha Silk Canvas. And this is almost empty. I'm kind of scraping the sides to use it up. So I'm gonna take about that much and just put that where my pores are a little bit bigger. Just in through here, and then I just go down and up and just sort of press it in. It's a really great pore filling primer, but again, the e.l.f. one is very similar for probably, you know, a quarter of the price, if even maybe less than that. But that is really nice. I don't know if I will repurchase when I use that up. You know, the e.l.f. one works just the same. So, okay, so there's my primers on. And then for foundation, I'm gonna use the IT CC cream. This is the Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum with 50 SPF. And I have the shade Fair. And to put that on, it's the e.l.f. sponge. This is the only sponge I use anymore, and I have probably 3 or 4 of these in backup ready to go. It's a great sponge. I used to use the Beauty Blender all the time, but I've switched to these. So these are the only sponges I have anymore. So I just do one pump on the back of my hand, and I sort of dot it around. I try not to go too heavy with this because I feel like it can settle a little bit. And also it's quite high coverage foundation, so a little bit goes a long way. So I just put it around like that, and then I take my sponge and I blend. This is a really nice, I use a separate sunscreen. So under all of this, I've already done all of my skincare. So I already have on a 50 SPF, an all mineral sunscreen. But I just like that this has sunscreen in it to add, right? Okay, so that's got that all blended. And then I do have a blemish up there. So I'm gonna take a very small dab of that, and I'm just gonna put it right on that blemish, and I'm gonna let it sit there for a few seconds while I put on my concealer and let it dry down a little bit, and it works great at covering up blemishes. You could also use concealer, but the concealer I'm gonna use is a bit light, so I put the foundation there. So for concealer, I have this Clinique one, and this is the Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer, and it says Camouflage plus 24-hour wear, and I have this in the shade, I think it's 02. Yes, Very Fair 02. When I bought this at the drugstore, they didn't have I think there was only 4 or 5 shades, so I'm not sure if maybe you went to a Clinique counter, if maybe they have more shades, I'm not sure. But when I bought it, there was only like I said, 4 or 5, and I think I bought the lightest shade they had. And it goes on very light, so I'm just gonna put a little bit there, top and bottom. And you'll see it goes on really light, but it oxidizes quite a bit. And then I'm just gonna blend that out. It's a nice concealer. I do prefer the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer to this one. And of course, it's way less expensive than this one, but this is a really nice concealer. I feel like Clinique products, I also have a foundation from them. I feel like their products, you don't hear a lot about them, but they actually have quite nice makeup products. I don't like their skincare. It doesn't work for me, but their makeup products are really nice. So I'm just gonna blend that out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just dab at that blemish I have and blend that. Okay, and then I go in with cream products first. So I do cream blush, cream bronzer, cream highlight, and then I set them with powder blush, powder highlight, powder bronzer, because I feel like that gives my makeup longevity. So my favorite cream blush right now is this Fenty Beauty Cream blush, and this is the shade Petal Poppin, which is 02. And I just take my sponge, I dip it in there, and then I just focus it right on the high points of my cheek here. I try not to get down into this area because that's where my pores are larger, and I feel like it really accentuates that texture down there. So I try to stay pretty high with my blush. And then I kind of take all my face products, I try to go up and out just to lift. And do the same on the other side. I have a little mirror over here to help because the viewfinder on my camera is very tiny. So. And then for liquid highlight, I have this Cover FX. This is the Custom Enhancer Drops, and it's in the shade Moonlight. Just gonna give that a shake. So I see that Cover FX, I'm not sure they're on the Sephora website anymore. Or I don't know, they had them all discounted, so I'm not sure what's going on there, if they're just changing the packaging of things, or maybe they're not going to be in Sephora anymore. So, but I did see they still carry these last time I checked on the Cover FX website. So I do 2 drops like that, and I just blend it out on the back of my hand and grab it with my sponge and do that C around my eye. These are really, really nice highlighter drops. Really subtle, really pretty. And then I'm just gonna do the other side as well. Okay, and then for cream bronzer, I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup. This is the matte, I think it's just called Matte Bronzer. Yeah, Matte Bronzer. This is the little mini. I bought this to try it. It is really nice. I'll probably, once I use that up, get the full size. And then I'm just gonna go along my top of my forehead here and blend it in. Sometimes I do bronzer down, you know, on the cheek area, but sometimes I think the blush is enough because I'm very, very pale. So sometimes adding too much just looks heavy. So now I'm gonna set, and I always try to use the least amount of powder that I can. So to start with, I'm gonna use this Ciate London. This is the Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder, and I'm going to use a very soft, fluffy brush and pick up the smallest amount and just go very lightly in through my T-zone. So I have quite dry skin, but I can get a bit oily through the day, especially in my T-zone. So. And now I'm avoiding the tops of my cheeks because I don't want to wash out that blush that I put down. So this I'm just really doing on my T-zone, and then I do like to put a little bit down here just because I have put foundation down there and I don't want it to get on my clothes, and I find that that helps if I do that. Okay, and then the other powder I go in with is the Hourglass Ambient powder. So this is the new one. This is their Lighting Infinity powder. I do also like their Dim Light powder. I have that one. And this one looks like that. I think the reviews online have kind of been mixed, but I love it. I think it's really nice. And I just do sort of 2 little swirls and then just set up here. Just adds such a nice, subtle, healthy glow. It's really nice. And like, their powders are expensive, but they do last. And now this I am taking right up everywhere. I find their powders last a really long time, even with pretty much daily use. They're just packed in there so firm. Okay, and then for my blush, highlight, and bronzer powders, I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Ghost palette. So I got this was actually a Christmas gift, and I got this last Christmas, and I see they are coming out with a new one. You can see I've used this a ton. That bronzer is almost done. I've really, you know, the highlight, the blush, and this is the Dim Light, I think. Yeah, Dim Light finishing powder. I've used those lots. This blush is a little bit dark for me, so I haven't really used that. Maybe more in the winter I will, but I love all the Hourglass powders. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blush, this lighter blush here, and just go over where I put the powder or the cream blush. And again, I'm trying to keep it up. But just help it to set and stay longer, because a cream blush for me just doesn't last the whole day. So you can see it's very subtle, very pretty. And then I'm going to do the same with the highlight. The highlight is that one there, and it's the Iridescent Strobe Light highlighter, and it's very, very subtle, which I love. A little bit, and then just go over. And last, I'm going to go in with the bronzer, and I do mix. I do mostly the bronzer, but I put a little bit of that dim light in there just to diffuse it, so it's not such a strong bronze for me, because again, my skin is very, very fair. Okay, so that's the face complexion products all done. I do have a couple other face palettes that I really like. I have the Natasha Denona. This is the diamond and blush one. These are really expensive, but I got them on sale. You can see there, it's got the cream products are under a protector. There's fighting on my lap. Okay, Lou, where you go? Go see your dad. So the cream products are up top, and they're under this little plastic protector, and then these are the powder products down here. This is really nice. I think regular it was like $120, but they were on sale for $50, I think $50. So I grabbed this one, and then I also grabbed the Sculpt and Glow. It's very dirty because I do use these quite a bit. And same thing in here, you've got a highlight, a contour, and a glow, and those are cream products under that protective screen. And then down here you've got a pressed powder, sculpting powder, and an all-over glow powder. And those products are really nice. I really like both those palettes. I'm not sure if they're still for sale on the Sephora site or not, but if they are, that's a pretty good purchase. So then for my brows, I'm gonna go in with the Precisely My Brow pencil, and I have it in the shade 4. I think this might just be a mini one. I think it came in a kit, but it's a very fine tip pencil, and it's a really nice pencil, but you can get very similar pencils at the drugstore for probably $1/4 of the price. So I do have a little mirror over here that I'm gonna bring in to do my brows so I can see what I'm doing. So I just spoolie them up. For me, filling in the brows is just getting rid of the gaps I have, the sparse spots, because I do have quite a bit of brow hair, so I don't need to fully create a brow. It's already there. I just go in and fill in the gaps. So there's the brows penciled in, and then when I'm done, I take the spoolie again and I blend it so there's not those harsh lines from the pencil. And then to set them, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. It's a great clear brow gel. I've heard people say it's crusty. I don't find it crusty, but I'm not touching them after I set them either. And it's quick and easy. It has it's quite a big tube, and it has a giant applicator. So it goes on easy and quick. I did just recently get this e.l.f. one that I'm gonna try, and it has the lash on one side and the brow on the other, but I haven't tried it yet. But I wanna say that was maybe $2 or something, so worth giving it a try. So I just go in, just one dip, and I do both brows with that. And then for mascara, I don't have high-end mascara, so I use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I find that it is the best mascara out there, and it's about $10. So I can't remember the last time I bought a high-end mascara. I did get the Lily Lashes one in a BoxyCharm a few months ago, and it was great, and I used it up. But for me to purchase, I wouldn't. So I just go in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and then, as I said in my previous video, I do a primer first. So I'll go ahead and do my lashes. So there's one eye done. Now I'll do the other eye, but you can see what a huge difference that makes. It just opens that eye up. And then I'm gonna do my lips. So for my lip liner, I have this Liz Ciate, I think is how you say it. And it is the waterproof lip crayon, and I have it in nude blush. It's a really nice lip liner. It's in a sharpenable pencil format, and it's super creamy, and it lasts quite well throughout the day. So I do go in and I don't want to say I overline, but I definitely take it to the very top. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed that my lip line is less defined, and it also has it's not a smooth, straight line. It has some variation in it. So I smooth it out, but I take it as high as I can. And same with on the bottom, I go as low, almost a little bit under, not the whole part of the lower lip, but definitely in the center here. Oh, sorry, my camera died there, so if things look a little different, I had to go charge it. Okay, so I did the lip liner, and then for lipstick, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Matte Revolution lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk. You can see it there. It's a really nice, soft, matte lipstick. And I don't put a ton of it, I just put enough to add a little bit of color to my natural lip color. And then I'm gonna top it with a little bit of this Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Confetti. And again, I'm not gonna put a ton of it on, just a little bit, just mostly in the center. Just like that. And then for setting spray, I'm gonna go in with the Cover FX. This is the Illuminating Setting Spray. And again, I'm not sure, I think you have to get this right off of the Cover FX website, and you do have to give it a good shake first, because I don't see this on the Sephora website anymore. And then it's got a really fine mister, and you wanna be careful not to use too much because it can get glittery. I just go in like that, and then I take my sponge and I just gently dab all around, because I don't want any glitter, you know, big splotchy circles. And then I go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. If you haven't tried the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, it's amazing. It has the nicest smell. It just smells clean and fresh and takes any powdery or heaviness to your makeup, just takes it down. And then I fan just with a pad of paper, because that's what I have here. And then I let that sit for a few minutes and really dry down. Normally what I do is I go do something else, you know, finish getting ready, do my hair, whatever I'm gonna do. And then right before I'm ready to go out or go to work for the day, I come in and I take the Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And it's in number 1 Fair. This, I've never had a powder as nice as this. It's the softest, lightest powder. And I take it on one of these Beauty Blender puffs. So this puff is expensive. I think when I looked online it was $20. And I'm not sure if I would pay $20 for it. Last Christmas my son bought me a Sephora Favorites kit and this came in it. But having said that, I've used this every day since I got it because it's perfect. It's got these little finger holders in the back and it's squishy. Almost like, not like a Beauty Blender sponge, but it's more dense than that. And then this is very soft and furry, like a fuzzy, like a blanket or something. So I take a little bit of this and I just go in where I'm gonna get oily in the day. And also I like to be matte in my T-zone and then more dewy on the outsides of my face. So I go in and I just do, it's not very much powder I'm taking. And then I do around my mouth because I get makeup wants to settle in these lines for me and in the crease in my chin. And of course the sides of my nose, so I go in. And then I do a little bit extra right now under here just to help it stay so that my mask doesn't wear off the makeup under there. I find that helps it stay a little bit better. So that's my full face of my most expensive makeup products. Lots of these are my favorites that I use weekly, if not daily, and I feel like are worth the money. But you know, for some of them there's cheaper dupes, so where I can I try to save a bit of money. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.